Let's stop right now. Stop, take a pause, see where you at right now, and are you reaching the goals? Are you getting closer to your goals? Are the things you're doing hindering you from reaching your goals? And this is a great moment to get on the right track. All right, make that self-discovery plan. One thing that's always been for me, man, I never forget one of my business classes, they taught me the SWOT analysis. The strength, the S is for strength, the W is for weaknesses, the O is for opportunity, and the T is for threats. Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A podcast. I am your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. Family, we are already in February, all right? So time is going fast. So I hope you're doing the things that you said you was gonna do, being the person that you said you was gonna be, and living out your dreams this 2024, all right? Don't wait until December or later on in the year to try to get yourself together now, all right? So I had to get that out there to you. But again, I am your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. To the right of me, I got Mr. Military Man, Mr. Krabs, the legendary Mr. Myles McConaughey. How you doing, brother?
Doing good today.
I'm doing good today, all right? The Rock is not here today, so it'll just be me and Mr. Myles McConaughey handling it today. But we got a great conversation today, man. I really, to think that it's February, to think that there's so much that has happened in January, so many things to learn from, so many things to improve on. During this episode, man, we're just gonna hit on anything and everything January to give our viewers some feedback, man. And I hope you had the best January. I hope your January has been excellent, but February is going to be even better, all right? But let's get into it. So, family, it's January, all right? So what we want to do, I want to assess, man, my January, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, all right? We had some moments within this January where I felt like we're good, and some that I felt like we're bad, but that's what life is. The strength, the good things that I think happened in this month. So, it's cut different. We got, passed, and we got our, the school board, and we got our new contract. We got our contract, obviously with the after school program and stuff extended, and we just had a parent meeting the other day that went very, very well. So those are some things that we had on our list. And it's funny because you think about it, like when you were in December, it was things we were looking forward to, or things that we were planning out. And then when you start hitting those milestones, it's what's letting you know that the year is going in the right direction, or that you're doing the things. One key takeaway. So I want to take some takeaway from the things that I brought up. So one of my key takeaways from the contract is just being patient and trusting God. In that moment, it brought so much chaos is the word that's coming to mind. Not really chaos, but confusion and waiting to see like what's going to happen. Anticipation. In the moment, I never got discouraged, but it was a testament that say, this is God's plan. Trust God. I shouldn't have to question what's that contract going to get, signed. I know that this is God's plan, and I had to trust that. So being still and waiting, as long as you're doing the part that you need to do. And I think that's even for you all, it's maybe something that you're dealing with, that you're working on right now, that you're working to, and it's out of your hands. And you just want to see, waiting for that date or waiting for that moment to see if it's going to come true. I will guide you to just trust in God, in those moments, and know that if it's for you, it's for you. Anything that's for you is going to come, it's going to come to light. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? You don't have to force it. You don't have to try to jump out the window and question things. It's just really trust it. And that was one key thing I did in that moment. So it's trusting in that God was going to come through in the contract. And number two, what did I just say? I'm thinking about.
The contract was the
first one. And then I said,
two, you were talking about the meeting.
The meeting. So the parent meeting. Thank you, man. That's why you always need a two, man. You always help make sure you're right. But our parent meeting, so right now with what we do, there's a lot that through time, things can get, out of hand because you're dealing with a lot of people. You know what I mean? New people are coming on, old people, some people are leaving. So messaging can get messed up. Last night or the meeting, we were able to get on one accord. We were able to make sure that our families understood what we were trying to get communicate and put new systems in place to help our boys achieve greatness. And so that alone, that's going to push us through the year. And those are things that we set out. So that was a motivating factor for me to know that we got that done and that we were able to push through. And so the meeting and the meeting and the contract was kind of like my highs of this month. So I kind of went spin to you. So what were your highs of January?
So I'll take it to more personal, because with you covered more so the organizational aspect. So for me, I would say the highs came off of some key meetings that took place in January. That's going to help benefit the city of Ocala. Not only in the near future, but also long term. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the growth of those talks and those plans because those things are a need. We look around at our community, and Ocala's is right on the cusp, right before it really blossoms into its next phase of what Ocala consists of. A lot of times people look around and they can feel it, they can see it. It's a lot of new infrastructure coming up, a lot of plans coming down the pipeline. So we just gotta be ready to really capitalize on the change that's coming to Ocala. It's good stuff, and like I said, things that are much needed. So that's my high for January so far.
So what keeps you, so when it comes to everything you're saying in the growth of Ocala and the motivation, what about that motivation? Because everybody has their interests. You got people on one side of town, their motivation may be a horse. On the other side of town, it may be a dog. What motivates you to do the work that you're doing?
To me, I'm motivated to see something go through its processes. So even with my previous occupation of being a personal trainer, being in the gym, you basically see that in real time. You see a person when they first come to you, they may have low confidence. They may have certain goals physically that they want to sit there and achieve, and then you see them chart through that process of building the confidence, starting to get stronger, starting to get the body composition that they're seeking, and then you're able to see them also once they hit that goal that they're looking for. So I love the process. So I like to see progress being made, and I think with each little progress, that's what just keeps me motivated to, keep knocking it out and just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
I love the word you said, sort of process. And so that's a cliche, trust the process and all those different things. But if it's one thing I know, that process not gonna lie. It's just like when the coaches say the film don't lie. So what you're doing during the process. So right now, so many people, it's January, so it's early. It's early, so you still can dismiss some of the bad habits you may be doing starting off, because again, we start off with a new year resolution, new year goal. And okay, so it's so early in the process, you still can not be doing those things, but you don't really feel it because I still got time. You know what I mean? Now, but February is here. You know what I mean? Now you're going through February, and it, so through the time, it's building bad habits. I was just talking to a young man about it today. I was like, same way you build a bad habit, you can build a good habit. And when you create that bad habit, it's going to take the same amount of time to get rid of the bad habit. You get what I'm saying? So many people build bad habits in January. It's like the first quarter. Go to sports. First quarter is very important because it's how you start. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, the fourth is the most important, which it is, but the first is very important too. It's how we started off, how we're coming to this moment. So we don't have to wait till the fourth to try to make a comeback story. You get what I'm saying? So when we talk about the process or trusting the process, I think so many people lose focus in how important the beginning of the process is. You know what I mean? So the beginning of this year, because why are people, and this may be a question, I don't know, but what do you think people are missing about, focusing on that front part of, or is it just because they really don't want it? Because that's how I think. I think a person just really don't want it. It sounds good. You know what I mean? It's different from being interested and being committed. Most people are interested. Like, I'm interested in having a good body. I'm interested in making more money. I'm interested in joining this community organization, but I'm not committed. Because when you commit yourself to something, you will go through hell and high water to see it successful. So I think people really aren't committed to living a better life. Do you think that's true?
I think to a degree, I think it would be naive to say that you don't have people that just don't want it. They like to talk about it. I think also, though, a lot of times people don't accept the amount of work that's going to take through the process. So for me, when I think about something that I want to do, I think about all the so-called negatives, the cons that come with that. So the staying up late, the not being able to do things that, relax me for whatever it is. It may be going out with friends or going out with my family or different things. that denying that instant gratification so that I can stay on chart to get my goal. So I take all that in before I even put my foot in the water. I say, okay, what is it going to actually take for me to accomplish this, and all the perceived negatives? Am I willing to accept those negatives in order to get the result I'm looking for?
Right.
So like back to talking about the personal training examples, or like you saying with the fruit diet,
Right.
You're surrounded by temptation, but you're willing to forego that because you're being committed to what it is that you're trying to go for.
Right.
So to me, I accept what comes with that progress or the next step. And so in my mind, I'm not really shook when I feel the effects of like smelling that steak when I know I need to be eating fruit. I know that's going to come with it. So I've already accepted that and prepared myself mentally to endure that. And that's what helps me,
Nah, that's huge, bro. Because what you're saying, most people don't think about. They don't think about that. And even because I'm so black and white, bro, and it comes to a default at sometimes because I just can't understand people or have a level of understanding because everything's black and white with me. You do or you don't. Even if you coming into an environment and you're not prepared, what does it take to get to wherever you're trying to go? You get what I'm saying? So in the moment, so say you didn't think about, okay, I'm going into this restaurant, I'm going to smell fries, chicken wings. It doesn't matter. Even if I didn't think about that, when I'm here, I know I can't eat this. Even if I had to get a glass of water and sit here and watch somebody eat, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
That's how I'm built. Like, again, it's black and white. You either do or you don't. I think so many people leave that gray area for themselves. It's like, well, I got a headache today. And so in order to get rid of my headache, I need a chicken wing. You know what I mean? Or whatever that is. So there's so many different factors. And I think when you eliminate the gray room, I think that's when you're successful. So I'm pretty sure if you talk to any person that's successful, any person that I look at I do a lot of the ETs and a lot of people, man, they talk like eliminating all distractions and eliminating all excuses. And I think a lot of people are okay with making excuses. Again, sitting with a young man today, this young man is a 16-year-old person in 8th grade. Bro, at some point in time, you got to look at yourself. I hear you talking about this and that, but I kind of, I didn't, because we just met today, so I ain't give it to him hard like that. But I was like, what did you do? Well, what did you have to do with this? Because I'm about to say, at the end of the day, young man, you about to be, in 2 years, you're going to be 18.
Yeah.
You got to fend for yourself. Hopefully mom don't kick you out of the house by 18. Mom Deuce can say, hey, get up out of here.
Right.
And go figure it out. So you're going to have to take some self-accountability, some self-responsibility for yourself in your own action. Going back to what we talk about here, it's all about self-accountability, self-responsibility. Right. Nobody else can. Like, I don't care about what is your goal. And that gets me in trouble a lot. I'm telling you, bro. This gets me in trouble a lot because I see things like that. If you come to me and you say, hey, Jamie, I want to be the president. If you come around me and you're doing anything that doesn't do what you having to be a president, I got a problem with that because now you're just saying, bro, then I'm going to call you out. I'm like, hey, why you ain't going to talk over here? Or why you ain't joining this group? Ain't you want to be the president? You know what I mean? Just like we just told when the young man was sitting here, Q, on one of the episodes. And I was sitting there. I said, what is your I said, your social media is your resume.
Right.
If you're a football player and I go to your social media and you got nothing about football on that, then you're not being who you're supposed to be. Self-accountability would be you would be making this page look like the best highlight reel. It would show you reading in the film room. You know what I mean? When a coach comes in and they don't think like that, but you have full control over this stuff. But we put out these false images and you really don't want what you say you want, bro. Right. A lot of people straddle the fence so they can be able to fall back and say, well, I ain't trying my hardest. You know what I mean? I just was there. I ain't trying my hardest. Right. I was trying to, but it didn't really matter if I got it. Now you remember kids that used to do it when you was on the playground.
For a lot of those people, you said that they don't see it, and I mean you're right. They don't see it, and the thing is, it's that mental fortitude, it's that mental preparation for your goals. So a lot of times, they make a goal, but they don't really assess the entirety of the plan. So, what we may see is them straddling that gray area. For some people, I know you've had a conversation with people before. You ask them some of those probing questions to kind of see where they are in the process, and they haven't even thought about some of those things. And it's just, it's really hard to teach people to have that mental preparation about tackling a goal, but in my experience, once they figure it out what it actually consists of, then then they can start knocking it out.
Yeah, plan. So what I heard you just said is plan. It's making a plan. So for everybody else watching this, man, if you're really serious about whatever you're trying to do, what's up, family? Man, have you liked, subscribed, or commented yet?
Takes 2 seconds. Comment also is a great way to help us refine what we do here.
You family, right? We need you. Come on, man. Like, subscribe, and comment. Peace. Success, man. You got to really sit down and reevaluate your January. Do not wait till June or July to try to see if you've been doing what you need to do. Let's stop right now. Stop, take a pause, see where you at right now, and are you reaching the goals? Are you getting closer to your goals? Are the things you're doing hindering you from reaching your goals? And this is a great moment to get on the right track. All right, make that self-discovery plan. One thing that's always been for me, man, I never forget one of my business classes, they taught me the SWOT analysis. The strength, the S is for strength, the W is for weaknesses, the O is for opportunity, and the T is for threats. Big corporations do this for business, and you can do this for your own life. Really stop and think about, what strengths? And when I say strengths, this is like what opportunity, those strengths and things that I have around me that are helping me be who I want to be. And the weaknesses, it's like, okay, who around me needs to leave, or what around me I need to get away from me because this is hindering me. Opportunities, these are the people or the things that are around me that I can use as an opportunity to propel me, to get me to where I need to go. All right, and the threats, the things that are around me that are threatening me from getting where you're going. You can put names, you can put things in each one of these quadrants, and this really helps you because obviously the things on this side, read them, and the things on this side you go closer to. But that key little piece of paper that I got, that SWOT analysis, man, it helped my life so much because it makes things simple because you're able to draw it out. I'm a visual learner. I don't know about you, Brother Myles. I'm a visual learner. I got to actually see it. You know what I mean? If I want something, I got to see what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. So for you, that may help you even more. I'm telling you guys, 2024 is one of the most impactful years. This time of life where we in, and everything in the world is a pivotal time. You got so many creations coming. You got the AIs coming. You got the crypto stuff coming. You got all these just different things that are popping out. And this is a great time to get educated on all these things, to be able to put your cement in where you're going to be. I was just telling a young man today, he asked me a question. He said, do you think anything is, what's the word he used? He said, do you think things are forever? Or what did he say? Do you think things are for forever? And I was like, permanent. He said, do you think things are permanent? And after I thought about it, I was like, dang, good question. And I was like, yeah. I say, yeah, death is permanent. When you dead, you're dead. You know what I mean? You're gone. But then I started thinking about it. I said even more. I said, because he asked me the question, he was like, I don't really think so. Because he like, things change. He had a good little standpoint. But I kind of pointed his direction to say it's like, things are permanent. Like, because if you got names, like people, we just came off MLK. I said Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's permanent. People gonna remember him for forever. You know what I mean? I say for myself, that's what I want to do. I say my hope is that I leave something permanent in you that you may gonna tell your child to tell somebody else, and it's a trickling effect. And that little nugget that I gave you just keeps inspiring. That's a permanent thing that I put in this earth. That's my goal. And again, when we're going here, everybody, you got to think about that. Like, think about, what am I gonna leave here? We're not gonna be here forever. What are you gonna leave here? Somebody to know that you existed. You know what I mean? Like that, literally, when he popped in my head, I was like, wow, man. I'm like, it's good that you're thinking about this, but I want to redirect your mind to think like, bro, you're a living vessel. God put you here to be great. And he doesn't have any spiritual beliefs or religion. He didn't believe in religion, but I'm saying, hey, it works. I know it works for me. I would encourage you. I would encourage you to find this because you need that back. And I say, when things get rough, what do you lean on? You know what I mean? I was having that discussion. I said, I know time and time after me when I had to go to God, when things were getting rough for me. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. And I told him, like, be legendary. Don't be scared to be legendary, man. Make your footprint on this earth. You right here being lackadaisical, man. You're eighth grader and you're 16 years old. And he told me, he said, I'm a lazy. I've been lazy all my life. I was like, I can tell. You get what I'm saying? So when is enough enough? When do you know what I mean? When do you push through this? And I think that's going back to this, man. I need everybody to, like, don't be that adult that's still 21. You know, you're 40 and you still 20. You know what I mean? Be able to grow up and let's start chasing these things. Like, I really have a passion for changing, the circumstances of my family. I want to change the mindset of my family. I don't want to have to think about money. I don't want to have to think about okay, I want to buy my wife a car and I got to think about, chase chase money, but chase your dreams, man. God put us here to be great and we all have to chase that, all right? I know I start rambling, but that's just really how I feel. You know what I mean? I want everybody to be great, man. I want everybody to have what this life has to offer. I want you to be able to go on as many trips as you want to go on, but it's going to start right now. All right, 2024. Take advantage of January. All right, but January is over, and we're about to move into February. All right, so what about February excites you? What are you looking forward to most in February, sir?
More so a continuation of what's going on in January. Again, like we talked about before, it's the process. So it's the small steps that's ultimately going to lead into a big completion of a or achievement of a goal that's been set. So February, hopefully start putting some actual legs to a lot of these plans. Start to get out there, start to get moving, get the team assembled that's needed to help get this carried through. And for me, a lot of times I'm like that horse that's in the stall is ready for it to open up, to take off. So for me, a lot of times that's my hardest thing, because once I get going, I like to just keep going. But sometimes you have to take that short pause, and you have to hustle while you wait type of thing, and don't get too frustrated. And for go-getters, I think that's probably the hardest part. The hardest part is like just understanding, okay, the next step has to, it has to organically move into that path. You can't just sit there and just everything don't operate on your time.
Yeah. You got a couple plans. When are you gonna be able to tell the podcast family what you got going on? My boy keep talking in codes, y'all.
Hopefully soon. I mean, I can't really disclose right now, but again, it's things that's needed. So if you look around Ocala and see certain things that's going on that you may not like or may concern you, there's things on the horizon to help alleviate that. And a lot of times too, I know that's difficult if you're not really tapped into certain institutions and systems, and you may think like no one's doing anything. It's just a free fall. But I tell you, it's a lot of hardworking people that's out there behind the scenes that's trying to answer complex issues. And they're not black and white. Like, you can't just go out there and flip a switch and change stuff. But I will use this moment to encourage people that if you do have strong concerns about your community, things like that, to get more involved. Because one thing, you end up going to some of these meetings and some of these events, and you almost see the same people every single time. And like, that's cool for get familiar with individuals and networking purposes, but at the same time, it can be a little bit disheartening, because it's like, why is it always just the same people? It's more people that inhabit Ocala than just this 200 people. So definitely encourage people to get more involved, get more, find whatever it is that you feel like you can tap into in your community that you care about. If it's the youth, get involved with the youth. If it's the veterans, get more involved with the Veteran Association, the VA. Whatever it is, just find it. And there's resources out there, there's organizations out there that's helping, I promise you, different parts of our community. So just get tapped in.
And that's one of my things, more so looking forward to the February, kind of how you ended it with saying, telling people to get tapped in. Man, there's a lot of people that care about the well-being of the whole city of Ocala. So many times we get caught up in our clique or our interests, and we think that we're the only one that cares about us and they care about them. And when I say that, there's just so many different sectors of people that I've come in contact with that care. You know what I mean? And they really got a heart and care about the community. And it's more so, like you're saying, getting out and finding those people, finding the like-minded people, people that have the same interests. Because even I was just having a conversation with somebody at WET. They want to show, they want to get out, because most people think they just out there, all they care about is horses. But it's like, man, these people have a heart of gold. You know what I mean? The family that owns that, they put a lot of money out into the community and stuff. But it's sometimes the person that's complaining, the person that may, man, sometimes you just got to get outside, get from behind your phone or get behind your whatever and go out into the community, man. We live, and when I say we, I know this is the worldwide podcast. We talking about Ocala, Florida. We live in a great city, man. There's so many caring people in this city. There's so many people with a heart, a heart for the community. Again, everybody has their own interests. Everybody has something that they are near and dear to their heart. But we gotta great group of people that's in the community daily that cares about everything. Even they got their heart what they care about, but they still care about everybody, and they want to help any and everybody that they can. And I think that's one thing great about Ocala. Obviously, I don't live in everywhere, but I would like to think that there's not a lot of places that you can find that got the community support like we do here in Ocala.
Right.
So for my February, that's one of my goals. And I've been doing it in January, but I want to ramp it up, man. I want to ramp it up with partnering, collaborating with different organizations. I mean, it's all about partnerships. It's all about collaboration. For win-win situations, obviously we want to collab because we want to help, but also we get able to show people that, different people that work with different interests or have different focuses still can come together and find one common cause. And I think that's one of the biggest things, just building bridges all around the city, man. We have to be the catalyst of what it looks like.
Right.
Again, we have to show people that just because we black males, we can work with anybody, the disabled, the homeless, it doesn't matter. We want to, and we have a heart with helping everybody. And I truly know that I do. And I know everybody, you, Eddie, Rory, all of us, the whole team has a heart for people, heart for our community. Obviously, we are passionate about boys. That's why God put us here. But we're also passionate about our community. Right. Like, I was born and raised in this city. I love, and I see the, and I ain't no go back and forth on Facebook type of dude, but I see, people that bash Ocala and stuff, bro. This city is way far ahead than where it used to. We got a long way to go. Don't get me wrong, but that's easy. But a lot of people like to compare Ocala to Orlando. That's like trying to compare. Well, it probably ain't that big of a gap, but I'm about to say that's like trying to compare me to LeBron. it probably ain't that big of a gap, but you know what I mean. It's a different. You can't. Some things you just can't compare. Yeah. Obviously, we're different, and we're growing to that. But if you're looking from where we are to where we used to be, and that's how people do you though. Like, it'll be a person that known you all your life, and they just judge you from what they used to know. They don't judge it for where you at right now. Yeah. You got to look at me at my current stage. And right now where we at is the city, man, it's far beyond. I tell you, I was at Yellow Mushroom and stuff like that. Or just the downtown area, everything we got going on, man. It's a great place to be. All right, so February, my goal is to get around and collaborate in partnership with some more people. All right, and also February is a key month because it's Black History Month. All right, we got Black History Month, we got Valentine's Day. Everybody, me and my lady, we gonna make sure I do something good. I'm pretty sure Brother Myles gonna do something good with his lady. But Black History Month is something I kind of want to switch the conversation to. This is a key moment. Obviously, Black history should be celebrated all throughout the year. It shouldn't be, obviously we get 1 month, so that is why we celebrate it. One cool thing that we always done in the past, we highlight like different figures on a Monday and Wednesday, and it was always cool. I remember it was a point in time, I think it was maybe around COVID, it was a point in time where people were looking forward to those posts, man, because educating, how many people were getting out to our DMs and say, dang, I never even knew who this was, because obviously you hit MLK, Rosa Parks, these people that you hear, we were going and digging up all types of names. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of any. Obviously, I ain't gonna think about it off the top of my head, but there's a lot of names that we were pulling up. A lot of people that did cool things. What about Black History Month? What do you think about the uniqueness of Black History Month? So in a day and time where they're trying to take it out of school, the history and stuff out of schools, and what is the importance of Black History Month?
So the importance of Black History Month is like with anything else. You have to be able to chart the wins of a people so that the current generation can have some type of inspiration. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, I think that's our weak point in our community. That a lot of times we hyper focus on the past atrocities way more than we do those that have gotten wins or those that have pushed the needle forward. And it's easy to always look at the blatant negatives because, like you said before, negatives is loud. It's in your face, and it's something that has to be respected. You have to respect every part of history to truly understand where people come from, and it can give you insight where people going. Mm-hmm. But to me, Black History Month is important because, again, it gives a solid opportunity to help continue pushing our community forward and not constantly looking back at one aspect of our history, because we're much more than just slavery. For sure. We're much more than just Jim Crow. But we have to be able to understand all the other great Black minds and great Black leaders that have also paved the way that we don't give a whole lot of respect to. Like you said, last year how we were going deep diving into black inventors and black leaders that you very rarely hear about. Right. That's a problem. Yeah. We should be hearing about them a lot. You know, obviously we should respect Dr. King and Rosa Parks and all those that we get shown often, but then that also gives a false view of like we only got a handful of prominent, strong black leaders when that's not the case, you know, throughout history. So we have to really put it out there fully and say, okay, no, these are all the great minds that'll come before you, and you can be the next one. You know, you can sit there and be that new inspiration, that new leader, that new innovator. It's in you to do so. So that's, you know, that's my take on it.
Yeah, and representation matters. I think it's something cool to know that your kind or your people had a big contribution on the world. You know what I mean? Things that you are taking advantage of today. Like you said, so many times we get focused on the slavery part, and we are, that's one thing I like about the team we assembled. We're forward thinking. You're gonna, like, again, we have to acknowledge the past. So I understood, but we're focused on the future. Okay, where do we go from here? Where do we go to make sure none of that was in vain? You get what I'm saying? So we have to push forward. And even like Black History Month, we got some leaders right now that are living that we can highlight. You know what I mean? There are some people that actually are paving the way and doing things here in our community and beyond. You know what I mean? So I think that's more so more of a motivation factor. And we got to understand the type of kids we dealing with these days, man. They don't really too much to cite them. There was a point in time when we were kids, because we didn't have access to so much information. Picture of Martin Luther King or would motivate us a little more, because it was like, wow.
Right.
Because we didn't have access to go on Google or go look him up or go YouTube something about him. These kids have access to everything we saying, and then their celebrities, their idols are in their face. They get days, lights up, and streaming and all these different things. So you talking about Martin Luther King? That really ain't exciting me, bro. I'd rather go watch Cassinet and watch his stream. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be innovative in this approach, and I think the importance of this month in February is us being able to understand what we're dealing with. Okay, so us as adults or as older people, yes, the month is important for us to even educate ourselves, but obviously we focus on youth. And when I think with youth, we have to get new in our innovative in our approach with giving things to them or who we showing them. That's why I think showing them living figures, bringing people in that are actually doing something. There's a lot of wealthy people that are in Ocala that are Black, you know what I mean, that are doing great things. Like, bring them in, that are doing, that paved the way. Like, and I always highlight Mr. Whitfield Jenkins. All right, there's no reason even for him to be at the meeting he was when he was at the school board meeting. Like, it was a storm outside, bro. This is an 80-year-old man, you know what I mean? When other people were saying they couldn't come outside because of the storm, you got an 80-year-old man that's been in activist pretty much all his life, adult life, and he's still at it at 80 years old. Yeah. That's Black history. You get what I'm saying? And highlighting those things. So I think it's very important that we give people their flowers. Even the man, I know we mentioned him on here, and really never follow up on that. The gentleman that got the road named after him over on Jones' side. There's key folk that are living, bro, that we can salute and give them their flowers right now. So as I'm saying this now, I'm gonna challenge myself to do that. Do a great job of highlighting those gentlemen. You know what I mean? Just like we highlight the Martin Luther Kings, the Rosa Parks, and all those people, we're gonna make sure that we highlight those folks in some way. I have to figure it out, but that'll be very cool. So February is a good time to get back on track. So if you haven't been on track, it's a good time to get back on track. Again, like, don't waste time. Don't be the person that lets this time slip away. Because again, February only got what, 28 days?
29 days.
29
this year.
All right, so that means it's a leap year? Am I tripping?
No,
it's a leap year this year? Dang, look at that. That's something special. Ain't it happen? When the leap year happen? Every 4 or something like that? Oh, it's a special year. I felt look at Roy don't know. He don't know. Look, he confused. He confused. But nah, so this is a special year right now. I didn't even know that. So it's a leap year this year, fellas. So again, just attack your goals, attack your dreams. We wanted to get on and just address the issue that, you know, it's January has fastly passed by. You may not have noticed, but this is your awakening call that January has passed you by. If you're not on the right track, if you're not doing what you need to do, you need to jump on it right now to make sure you're doing it. But I'm telling you, February is going to be a big year, and I'm going to speak for me. Let me do this, and I hope y'all do this. Speak positivity in your life. I'm going to speak positivity over myself in this moment right now, all right? So January is going to be one of the biggest months for me of the year. I'm going to actually tap into and be the man that God created me to be. I'm gonna do the things that I set out to do. The things that I say I'm gonna do out my mouth, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm gonna hold the people around me accountable to make sure that they're achieving their dreams. I'm gonna make sure that anybody up under my wingspan, the kids that we mentor, that I'm giving them every piece of energy that I have. All right, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna make sure that they are being the person that they need to be. I'm not gonna say that I'm tired. I'm not gonna say that I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna say it can be done. I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna keep doing things like going on different diets to challenge my body and challenge the way I think and challenge the way I do things, because I think that's important to my growth. And hopefully through my growth, other people will see it and they will want to follow suit. All right. So I will be the leader. I will be the motivating factor, and I will be the trailblazer that God put me here to be in this February. All right. And you got my words right here on the EL2A podcast. All right. How about yourself, brother Myles? What you got for the people February?
February, do a better job with putting myself out there more. What I mean by that is, there's spaces, there's opportunities where I understand, my uniqueness, my vision towards how to fix or help alleviate complex issues are needed, and I just feel like it's more of a calling on me, obligation really, to just answer that call. And there's nothing wrong with being someone kind of in the background. I never had a problem with that. My entire life I was fine as long as I knew that I was helping, something. But sometimes you get called to kind of step out
For sure.
a little bit more. So for me, just being more comfortable with that, understanding what that comes with, because it, like I said, the other podcast, price of opportunity. All right. So you have to account for that, and then just make sure that you're leading by example, first and foremost. That's always going to be the biggest thing. Anytime you go out there and you're putting an idea out there or a method of getting something done, you got to make sure that you're honoring and that you're living up to what it is that you're saying. So always have self-assessments. I mean, I do a pretty good job of that already, but just making sure I go that's that much further to make sure that, okay, everything that I'm saying, everything that I explain to people, that I'm living by that in truth every single day.
No, that's big. That's big. Hey, February, y'all, 2024. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and comment. All right. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to this. All right. We always tell you we family. All right. It costs nothing to show love. All right. So make sure you go to on Instagram, go to the EL2A podcast on Instagram, EL2A podcast on Facebook. Make sure you're following those pages. All right. And show some support. It's only going to get bigger and better, y'all. But we only can do it with y'all. We need your support, family. All right. So make sure you're supporting us. All right. You got anything else for the people, Brother Myles?
Just get it done. Just put in that work, and one foot in front of another, and you'll get there. And always, every single day, just go to God, ask Him to guide you. Not only your actions, your thoughts, but also the words in which you speak. And you can't go wrong.
Sir, I'm gonna end it on that. All right, see y'all next week. Peace.